Ladies and gentlemen, live from the West Bank of the Flats. If you don't know what it is, you're missing a hell of a show. Every Monday, right here from 6 to 7, it's LG with Cleveland Sports 360. And now, I'm quite sure you got your internet ready. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, LG.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Cleveland Sports 360 show, coming at you live right here from streamingsportstalk.com each and every Monday night at 6 to 7 p.m. We got a lot of interesting things going on down here at the streamingsports.com studios. Maybe some of you noticed the new show that started here Saturday at noon, the Sports Outreach Ministries. We are probably the only online streaming sports station in America that features a sports outreach ministry show. And let me explain to you why, ladies and gentlemen. We have two guys that are dedicated to helping out the needy and the homeless, and what our goal here is to raise funds, and sooner or later, right outside here on the West Bank of the Flats, we would like to sponsor a homeless outreach picnic and get people the essentials that they need. And maybe you think the homeless deserve it. We happen to think differently. All you have to do is have a catastrophic medical necessity take over your financial affairs, and you can end up bankrupt, just like a lot of people that have found themselves out on the streets. So keep your eyes focused every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m., streamingsportstalk.com for the Sports Outreach Ministry Show. I'm sure you're going to find it plenty of interesting, and you're going to enjoy it real big time, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you ever care to help support streamingsportstalk.com, you'll notice on the front of our web page, you can make a donation. Just simply use your credit cards, go on, sign in. We use PayPal. Any donation, it could be $1, $10, whatever you find that you'd like to help out streamingsportstalk.com. We'd greatly appreciate it. And we're gonna take some of those funds and we're gonna put them to the side, and we're gonna help sponsor this outreach ministry. So keep your eyes focused on Streaming Sports Talk. We got a lot of things happening, a lot of new shows coming up. I believe it is in May, Pound for Pound Boxing with Kenyon Johnson, and then right after that we're going to have a show featuring none other than me, LG, once again. You gotta be freaking kidding me. That's going to be the title of this show. We're going to bring all kinds of weird stuff. Anything goes. Nothing's going to be off limits on that new show starting in May. Pound for Pound Boxing with Kenyon Johnson. And you got to be freaking kidding me with yours truly, LG. And we will have a very exciting guest in the house. This guy is out of this world. We're not going to tell you who it is for a couple of weeks. We're going to keep you guessing. But you don't really want to miss those two new shows premiering here right at streamingsportstalk.com studios on the West Bank of the Flats sometime in May. Keep your eyes focused. Hey, the Browns draft, April 26th, is fast approaching. In case you didn't know it, it's about a month from today, folks. And Streaming Sports Talk will be teaming up with a local eatery to be determined at a later date. But keep your eyes and your ears peeled to our blogs, to our articles, and we're going to let you know where we will be broadcasting live for our second annual Browns Draft Party.
We're just hoping that this one is a party. I mean, in years past, it has really turned more into a riot, so hopefully this is actually a party, LG.
Well, you know, there's a lot of talk going on right now, Kenyon, and everybody's wondering what the Browns are going to do with that number 4 pick. There was some talk about them trading up to number 3 and maybe getting a quarterback, but I hate to disappoint the city of Cleveland and the Browns fans everywhere in the United States and all across the globe, for a matter of fact. I believe we're going to see the Cleveland Browns take a defensive player at number 4. I know that's not going to help the offensive needs of this team. Free agency, we've been rather stagnant. We got a couple of defensive linemen, one from Cincinnati, one from the Eagles, Parker will make a big impact for the Cleveland Browns, man. But I think they're going to take a defensive player with the number 4 pick. Now, you were talking cornerback today, earlier on the Unsportsmanlike Conduct show, Kenyon, and I was a little excited. I thought you were talking to Claiborne, the defensive end from Iowa.
No, I was talking about another shutdown corner to go with Joe Hayden on that side, and he would Claiborne. He would definitely from LSU. Maurice Claiborne. He would definitely shut down the other side of the corner. I mean, because right now they've got rid of the quarterback. I don't want any other quarterback at number 4. I don't want Justin Blackman at 6'1", and everybody thinks he's like 6. Everybody thinks he's like 6'6", 6'8". He's 6'1".
Yeah, he's listed at 6'1".
Right.
What I don't think there's another quarterback in the NFL draft this year that warrants a number 4 draft pick.
If the Browns, LG, draft Tannehill at number 4, I swear to God, not only I'm already done with the Browns. I've already given up my fan card with the Cleveland Browns. If they draft Tannehill at number 4, I swear to God, I would be like Barack Obama and going around here door to door like Jehovah's Witnesses, getting signatures to get rid of this organization and sell it to another city.
Well, I'll tell you, the phone lines are open here tonight, folks, at the StreamingSportsTalk.com studios, 216-672-4300 if you care to share your opinion what the Browns should do in the upcoming NFL draft. Don't forget StreamingSportsTalk.com live. We're going to have one hell of a draft party, win, lose, or draw, Kenyon. The people don't know that we know how to party, and we're gonna host this party at the venue of our picking, and hopefully we'll know that before week's end.
Right. We're going to announce that this Friday on Unsportsmanlike Conduct. We will be announcing our NFL draft party, where it's going to be, the location, time, and everything. But it will be announced this Friday at 4:25 Eastern p.m.
4:25 on Unsportsmanlike Conduct right here at StreamingSportsTalk.com. Log on. Don't forget Wednesdays. We got the show here on Wednesdays as well. But Friday will be the exciting announcement of our NFL draft party. You don't want to really miss that party. Come on out, have a few drinks, get yourself something to eat, and most importantly, have somebody to drive you home, because after watching the Browns draft, you may really want to have a few more drinks, ladies and gentlemen, and you may not be in the shape to drive home, so make sure you bring a designated driver to the event. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good eats there to get you through the night. Drinking on an empty stomach never works out well, so be prepared. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm going to forewarn you now. We're not going to get some big offensive playmaker. That's my gut feeling at the number 4 pick for the Cleveland Browns. I like the idea of getting another shutdown corner, Kenyon, and I know Hayden needs a little help, and I certainly hope Joe Hayden plays a little bit better this year than he did last year. If you think about, everybody's really down on Colt McCoy. You can't, I understand he's not the number 1. He's not an RG3. Unfortunately, there's not too many RG3s going on. And I'll tell you another little story, Kenyon. I really think if Jim Irsay wants to pick the best player in the draft, and I got a lot of flack this week, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, USA Sports 360. Log on, check out the articles there as well. But I wrote an article, and it tells you straight up, I don't believe Jim Irsay will take the best player in the NFL draft because he's black, Kenyon.
I don't know. You know what? I don't think it's so much right now at this point black. I think RG3 did so well at both combines, also at Baylor. I think at the time, if Irsay could get a do-over, he would have never said Andrew Luck is our guy. Because if he could do a do-over right now, he would take RG3. But the public in Indianapolis, they want a clone of Peyton Manning, and unfortunately, Andrew Luck's a guy. But Irsay, deep down inside, would love to have Robert Griffin III.
Well, if you're gonna really be concerned with the public, unfortunately, you probably wouldn't be in the business of building an NFL caliber football team. Sometimes the public doesn't always get what they want when they want it, as we know firsthand with the experience we've lived through with the Cleveland Browns here, and we never get what the public wants. But if I'm Jim Irsay, I take RG3 with the number 1 pick. Just to go back to this article I wrote, I get a lot of replies, and some people were telling me that, Luck can run an NFL offense. He has a much higher IQ than RG3 has, and I beg to differ that too, folks. I know Luck took architectural classes in college, but But RG3 was already working on a master's degree in his fourth year of college. He already graduated college, and he had a 4.67 grade point, a 3.67, excuse me, folks, a 3.67 grade point average versus Andrew Luck's 3.33. So, you know, as far as intelligence go, RG3 definitely has it too. And another thing I want to tell you is this guy is a workhorse, man. RG3 is going to go into an NFL situation. He's had a military upbringing. He's worked his butt off his entire life. His work ethics are second to none. All you got to do is talk to the guy for a little while or watch him talk and see the energy he expels just talking. It's phenomenal, folks. Phenomenal, RG3. So, you know, we're going to see a lot of good things happening with RG3 no matter what team he goes. But if I'm Jim Irsay, I'm taking RG3 in the NFL draft. That's all there is to it, folks. I'll tell you another little shocking story. Ever since Kyrie Irving has turned 20 years old last Friday, the Cavaliers have not won another basketball game. They pretty much got sunburned in Phoenix, in Cleveland, when the Phoenix Suns gave them the beating, you know, 108 to, what was it, 108 to 83, I believe was the case yesterday. I feel kind of bad for my man Kyrie Irving over there playing for the Cavs as a 20-year-old. He has not won a game with the Cavaliers since leaving his teenage years, folks. And I tell you, the Cavs are in dire need of getting somebody that can come in to Cleveland and compliment Kyrie Irving in a way that he deserves to be complimented so that this team can become competitive. I thought we saw some sparks of competitiveness earlier in the Cavs season, but I'm seeing it dwindle away slowly. I got a kick out of the Cavs guy yesterday sending some tweets saying, "Come on, Tristan, the game has started." In other words, Tristan looked like he was out of gas out there, Tristan Thompson, and he needed to get out there and find out how to play a little bit more aggressive. I'm sure Coach Byron Scott's going to get down on him a little bit this week, too. He's not going to put up with a guy that's not going to be putting in his all. We need 110% from every single Cavaliers player for the remaining games we have left this season, and it doesn't look good for the rest of the month of March, folks. We got to go to Philadelphia, play the 76ers. I don't know if we can beat them. We got the Detroit Pistons again, and one other game with the Bucks, I'm pretty sure, who was a tough battle we had up there in Milwaukee the last time we faced them. I don't think the Cavs are destined to win another game in the month of March. As sad as I am to report that to you, folks, the Cleveland Cavaliers are really suffering. Well, on the streamingsportstalk.com phone lines, sponsored by Rush for a Cause, we have a caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Hello, caller. Obviously, we thought we had a caller on the phone lines, but you know how that works. Live radio, they hang up on you. The rudeness of these people that are trying to call in. We'll get back to the Rush for a Cause phone lines a little bit later. Let's get back to talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Trading Ramon Sessions to the Lakers was the best move Sessions ever had happen to him in his life. At least he's on a team now where they're playing some basketball, and he's got some guys that he can play the game with. Sessions was one hell of a player and Kyrie Irving's mentor. Hey, Kenyon, you think that there's any possibility that Irving's suffering a little bit in his game now with the absence of Sessions?
No, I think actually Kyrie Irving is being exactly who we thought he was. Session was the better point guard, and I said that from day one. There's a reason why he's with the Lakers. There's a reason why he was the only point guard traded at the trading deadline. It's just the fact that Kyrie right now knows his team. He's not looking over his shoulder anymore. I think with Sessions on that team made Kyrie a better point guard. But, you know, for the future, I mean, it's good. Kyrie, he's gonna get into a system, but the Cavaliers right now made all the moves to make sure they're a bad team so they can get a higher pick.
Well, they're definitely in the right position, but I don't believe that was Byron Scott's sole purpose this year, was to get in a better lottery pick or a better pick. I think the Cavs are just not playing the kind of basketball that the Cavaliers need to play to win, and we need a little bit of more aggressiveness from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now we're going to get some music rolling, and we're going to go into a commercial break here from the Cleveland Sports 360 show. And when we come back from this break, which is about 2 minutes long, folks, we're going to talk about our Cleveland Indians. We're about 11 days away from the opener, 10 days away. And next Thursday at 3 o'clock, a week from this Thursday, the Cleveland Indians return, and the boys of summer are coming back. Let's just hope the weather cooperates. Last week we had some beautiful weather. It's a little bit chilly out here today, folks, but the sun is shining. And we're going to come back with a little more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show right after this break. Do not log off. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. We took a pause for the cause, and I had to drain the weasel for a minute there. I'm glad you could hold on and stick around for the show. I told you we're going to talk a little Cleveland Indians. Maybe not, maybe so. We got a caller on the Rush for a Cause phone lines here at streamingsportstalk.com on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Caller, what's your name?
Hello, Barry.
What's up, man? What do you think? What do you think the Browns should do with the draft? Come on, tell us.
What they should do with the draft is seriously sell the team, change the colors of the uniform.
Change the colors of the uniform. You really think that's going to make a difference? Come on, man, be real.
Sell the team, man.
Sell the team. Well, I got to tell you, you got a real interested owner here in Cleveland. Randy Lerner is somewhere. And Mike Holmgren is representing the team at the owners' meeting. So,
At where?
The owners' meeting. I think it's down in Florida this week. The NFL owners are all together.
Well, that's wonderful.
And Randy Lerner's not there.
For the caller, the Cleveland Browns will never sell this team because if you were an owner, let's say you own property, let's say you own a house, and your tenants are paying you 50 times more than the average rate for that house. So let's say the rent is $500 and they're paying you $500,000 a month. You're making that profit. There's no way in hell you're selling the team. As long as the Cleveland Browns are profitable, it would be stupid for the owners to sell. So when people say sell the team, that ain't going to happen.
There's no way the Lerner family's going to sell the Cleveland Browns,
first and
man.
foremost.
That's just a stupid-ass remark
It's already
from this
happened.
retard that's calling
I
me
mean,
on
when
the
the
phone.
Browns moved to Baltimore, the Browns are still making money.
Well,
That's my point.
Let's
That's
talk-
exactly what I'm saying. They're
Okay.
making money. So why would you say sell the team when the owners are making so much money off this team because our stupid, idiot-ass fans sell this stupid-ass stadium out?
Yeah, we keep saying you got a good point. Sell the team to the city of Cleveland.
And what's going to happen with that? Tell me how that's going to work
out. The way
out.
this city runs, it'd be defunct real quick.
That's right.
But
they can't even handle the Cleveland School Board, man.
Something like Green Bay did.
Well, the fans own the team in Green Bay, caller. There's a big difference there, man.
So how did
in all reality, listen, shut up for a minute, man. I want to ask you a question, okay?
Hey, dude, I can't wait till May.
Let me ask you.
I can't wait till fucking May.
Don't be screaming. Don't be using that.
I can't wait. What is it?
What's going to happen in May?
What's happening in May?
What's going to happen in May, man?
Huh? Let's do it right now.
What's happening in May? What's going on in May?
Yeah, tell us.
What was this new show he's putting on the air? Anything goes, or?
Oh, you got to be freaking kidding me, man. That's what you're doing right now. You're freaking kidding me. Let me ask you a legitimate sports question, okay? You called into.
I can't wait to hear this.
Okay.
Legitimate. Okay, let's go.
We know the Browns aren't going to sell the team, okay?
Oh, I know that. I was just busting everybody's balls.
What?
We're so damn serious about the Browns. They're not going to do anything any different than what they've done the last 15 years.
Were you one of those Ricky Williams weed dealers in your younger years?
Who?
Ricky Williams. Were you his weed
Ricky
dealer,
Williams.
man?
Can I ask
I wouldn't mind buying some of the weed that man used to smoke.
Can I ask you an honest question? Do you promise to give me your honest answer, caller?
Yes, I do.
When's the last time you smoked weed?
Oh, my God.
Probably 20 minutes ago.
It's been over 20 years.
Okay, when the last time you had a drink?
Pardon me?
An alcoholic drink. When's the last time you had an alcoholic beverage?
Well, trust me when I tell you I haven't had any of that. I'm just this happy all by myself.
All right, that's good,
Maybe
man.
you better switch your luck and start drinking and smoking some pot.
I listen to LG.
Basically, you need to start drinking and smoking weed. That's basically what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Oh,
Lighten
you're
up
right.
a
I
little
need
bit,
to add
man.
some
Lighten
Quaaludes
up a little
and
bit.
grab them.
Some
Couple hits of
Quaaludes.
acid.
Hey, let's get back to the
Black
reality.
African hash. Oh, there's the black word.
Hey, let's get back to the reality of sports, okay?
All right, let's get back to it.
What do you think? You want me to go slower for you?
Yellow box it for me.
What do you think the Browns are going to do with their number 4 draft pick?
Fuck it up.
Hey, good thing we don't have the FCC monitoring this station right now.
What are they going to do with it?
Well, hell, they're about to draft a water boy. You know they're going to screw it up.
Who do you think we're going to get? Is it going to be on the offensive side of the ball or the defense, caller?
I think they're going. I do agree with you. I think they're going to have to get another defensive end. They need somebody that can get to the passer other than up the middle.
We got another defensive end.
One.
Have you been paying attention? Frosty Rucker.
Sure.
Frosty freaking Rucker.
What do you think of that?
Rucker.
Frosty Rucker.
Frosty Rucker.
Frosty Rucker from the Cincinnati Bengals. What about Frosty Rucker from the Bengals? You think he's going to make a serious impact for Cleveland or what?
No.
No? How about the Cavaliers now? Let's go back. Let's switch gears. What do you think of the Cleveland Cavaliers with Kyrie Irving turning 20? We haven't won a game since he was 19. What's the problem there?
I think you got something good in that kid.
Well, sure, we got a real prize, but what do we need to make the team competitive?
20 or not, I think I don't care if the kid wins till he's 21, but they better build a team around that kid.
Oh, absolutely, man. We don't have the players to complement him right now.
Frosty Rucker. Frosty freaking Rucker.
What do you think of this Frosty Rucker coming up from the Bengals? What do you think?
I think it's a step.
How about Parker?
I got to ask you quick, why do you think they're letting him go?
I don't think the coach liked him.
You don't like Frosty?
I don't like what?
Frosty?
Come on, man. Frosty Rucker.
I gotta ask you guys a real serious question.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot.
Who the fuck is Frosty?
Hey, this is a family show, man. He's a Bengal. Frosty Rucker from the Cincinnati Bengals. You know?
All right, you just answered my question. If he was that damn good.
Well, I'm excited about. What do you think of Parker coming from Philadelphia?
Who?
Parker. Jaquel Parker.
Jesus Christ. What do you guys don't understand? There's a reason they don't re-sign these guys.
Maybe it was money, man. How about money?
Money.
Money.
If the man was worth the money they were supposed to be paying him, you think they'd be letting him go.
Okay, how do you like Brady Quinn going to the Kansas City Chiefs? You think that was a good move on Romeo's part?
I think Brady Quinn takes it up the rear end.
You hear that, Kenyon? He thinks Quinn takes it up the rear end, man.
I don't speak on that.
What about Romeo Crennel taking these Browns like Peyton Hillis? How long do you think Romeo will stay in Kansas City?
I think Romeo's going to fit well in Kansas City.
You do? You could see a long career happening out there for him?
Well, it seems like every time the Browns lose a halfway decent coach, they last a long time.
Yeah, like Marty Schottenheimer or Bill Belichick.
You got Marty Schottenheimer, you got Belichick. Well, Belichick was a wiener when he was here. He was learning. He was trying to build his mold. He just couldn't do it at that time.
How about this Shermer? What do you think is in his future for the Cleveland Browns?
I think he's taking it up the ass too.
So you're not giving these guys a lot of respect, are you?
Huh?
You're not giving
You
these
know,
guys.
Kenyon had the answer when he said, "Why would you put a winner out there and spend all your money as an owner when you know damn well you're going to fill that place up every week?"
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. If you paid attention a couple of weeks ago when Holmgren and Heckert had their little press conference in front of the season's ticket holders, I do believe that there are some people getting a little bit perturbed with the way things are going here in Cleveland. Okay?
Well, listen,
now
it's
wait a minute.
not really
Hey,
their fault.
give me a minute. You're right. I'm going there right now. You got two guys that came in and wanted to build a winning football team behind a bunch of stupid mistakes, stupid draft picks, stupid choices that took place since 1999. You know?
Right.
How long is it going to take? You definitely need a couple of drafts to turn the Cleveland Browns around. You're not going to do it in 1 or 2 years.
Frosty can do
Well,
it
that's
for
where
us.
the PR for
Frosty.
the Browns.
Let's just
screwed
hope
up.
Frosty don't go have a meltdown right on the 50-yard
I
line.
think
man.
Frosty is the answer. I think we've been looking at R.G. Griffin III. We've been looking at Trent Richardson. Frosty Rucker is the answer.
Well, good old Frosty. How do you feel Frosty's the answer? The answer to what?
The answer to the Browns' worries, man. Can he run with the ball, Kenyon?
I don't know, but I got to ask the caller. Are you hip with Frosty?
Am I hip with Frosty?
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman. No.
Well,
To be honest with you, I think the Bengals suck too, and every one of their players.
Well, you can't help but to suck if you live in Cincinnati. We know what's going on down there, man. It's
Especially that
unfortunate.
son-in-law
that,
you got down there.
Yeah.
Where's his head at?
I know. I mean, I got a couple family members that moved to Cincinnati, and they
and
try to
they
dress my grandson.
turned on you.
They try to dress my grandson in a frickin' Bengals, garb. I had to get him a Browns jacket, man.
You should have
Hey,
shit
thanks
all
for
over
calling,
yourself.
man. We're gonna have to take a break, caller. I really appreciate your call. It's always a joy to talk to you. I know you got to get back.
Listen,
I know you got.
Well, it's all in fun.
I
It's all
know
in
it is.
fun. Keep up the good work.
You'll love the You Got to Be Frickin' Kidding Me show coming in May, man. That's
Who
gonna.
the fuck is Frosty?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
You gotta be. Why don't you just name it? You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Well, we're not gonna go there, man. We're gonna call it.
Why
You gotta
not?
be
What's the
frickin'
difference?
kidding me.
All right, guys.
All right, you have a great night. Get back on the short bus. Make sure they belt you in real good for the ride back, okay?
That's the problem. You know, the first time you put me on the short bus, you forgot
Hang it
to
up,
fuck me
Kenyon.
in.
We've had enough, man. There you have it, folks. You can tell what kind of an evening this is going to be on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. We're taking your calls live right here tonight at streamingsportstalk.com on our Rush for a Cause phone lines. Just dial 216-672-4300. We're going to be talking Cleveland sports when we come back from this break.
a coincidence, it's not a game of chance, baby. More like convenience, not quite happenstance. Look at the evidence, you'll see. Proof that you just can't deny. If you read between the lines, when you realize your freedom isn't free, you'll be paranoid and start trusting so blindly.
Thank you for coming back for the Cleveland Sports 360 show after that last caller and some of the stuff he was trying to say about the Cleveland Browns. I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's live radio. Thank God we're not governed by the FCC. We're talking Cleveland sports tonight on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. We haven't even made it to the Cleveland Indians yet, but we have another caller joining us live right here on our Rush for a Cause phone lines. Caller, can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing, LG?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. Who is this?
This is Kyan.
How you doing, man?
Excuse me?
I said I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
What's going on? What do you want to talk about tonight here on the Cleveland Sports 360 show?
I want to talk a little bit about the Browns and a little bit about the Cavs.
Okay.
I was listening to the caller before, and you had a couple questions. You never really got a chance to answer them.
No,
So I'm going to try and answer them for you.
I think that guy slobbers on himself when nobody's looking, you know?
Yeah. It was pretty entertaining, though.
Absolutely. We try to be entertaining here on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Okay, so what's your view on what the Browns need to do here on the number 4 pick coming up?
Honestly, I don't know. Sitting here like a coach would, I actually filled out a depth chart of all the starters for the Browns, and I have 3 holes on offense.
Look at this. We got somebody with a brain calling the Cleveland Sports 360 show tonight.
Right, not like that last dude that was smoking weed.
No, I think it was Ricky Williams, weed dealer, man. So what holes do you think sincerely need filled?
Well, the 3 holes are right tackle. Obviously, we need a receiver, and then a running back. With the receiver, before I get into that, I also did some more research into exactly what the West Coast offense really is.
Yeah, I don't think we really got to see that last season.
You said we didn't see that last season?
Yeah, I don't think we really got to see the West Coast offense.
We saw the west side of Cleveland offense.
Right.
No, we pretty much didn't have the weapons or the line. If you look at it, plug in our left guard and our right guard, they both started all 16 games, and that was their first year doing that. So bringing them back along with the rest of the line, we have some stability up front. So that should, in turn, make the offensive line better.
Well, let me ask you a question while you're focused on the offensive line, because I don't think a lot of people realize that there could be a way for Steinbach to return to the Cleveland Browns. A lot of people think the Browns just axed him and said, that's it, we're cutting we're severing the ties with Steinbach. Do you foresee Steinbach making a deal and coming back and playing in Cleveland anytime in the near future?
Honestly, if nobody else reaches out to him, which I'm sure he'll probably get some offers, but if he's seriously considering about returning to the Browns, then he will eventually get a starting position, definitely over either one of our guards.
Yeah, because you're familiar with that Steinbach asked the Browns to release him, right?
Correct.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't dealing with that part of the story. They just want to go to the organization sucks and they got rid of Steinbach. But the people don't realize there's an opportunity that maybe we can get Steinbach back. And while you're talking about offensive linemen, don't you think that could be a big help to the Cleveland Browns?
Definitely. Anytime you can bring a person up front who has a lot of leadership and experience will make which is pretty much a young offensive line that we have that without him.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happen. I mean, I know Steinbach wanted to go out and test the waters. The Browns didn't want to pay him his $6 million this year, and maybe they're going to use that money somewhere else. I'm not even sure where we fit in with the salary cap. You seem like you have a pretty good grasp. Where are we at cap-wise?
Cap-wise, that I don't know. I didn't really get into that. I know we did spend some money on Dimitri Patterson.
Yeah, I think Patterson's going to be a great asset to the Cleveland Browns this year, man.
I think so, too. That's why I kind of rule out the number 4 selection with Morris Claiborne. I mean, we still can select him there, but after giving a guy who played nickel for the most part, about a $16 million contract with $6 million guaranteed, that's basically pretty much telling him, you know, it's your job to lose. And he's going to probably, you know, battle with Buster Scrine for that corner opposite of Hayden.
You know what I have, Kyan? The issue I have with people is when I debate anybody, I never mention money. You know why? Because it ain't my money. I could care less about the damn money. I'm not paying them out of my pocket. So when people call up and say, well, they're gonna, why would you pay him? Like they paying him. I don't care if the owner wants to pay this guy $100 million. I could care less. I want to make this team better. You were talking more on the offensive side. You were talking more on the West Coast offense. Go back to that. I want to hear how's this team going to be better, because I know this guy. I spoke with him at some of our remotes at Applebee's, and you were one of the guys that wanted to stick with Colt McCoy. So I want to build around Colt McCoy and tell us how this team is going to get better.
Well, with the West Coast offense, basically it's a lot of passing. It's short to intermediate timing routes. And if you go back to Colt McCoy's history in college, that's pretty much his game. It's the short intermediate passes, timing, the 3-step, 5-step, and works more off of play action. Now, also with the passing game, you don't necessarily need that pounding running back, only when it comes time for game management, clock control. But your short passes, like you saw with Hillis coming out of the backfield, even when they put Little, they motioned him to the backfield and had him run a flat route. That small passing game is an extension of the running game. So that also eliminates Trent Richardson at running back. Even though he would be a very nice pick, a solid pick, because he'll come in and provide protection from a blocking standpoint from the running back position, explosiveness to hit the holes, a tough guy to bring down, and also some sure hands coming out of the backfield, which is everything that our other backs supposedly have in Montario Hardesty and Chris Obanaya and Brandon Jackson.
Well, we got to have Hardesty healthy. I mean, we haven't seen a healthy Hardesty since he's been in Cleveland, man. Who are you going to pick with number 4, Kyan?
That leaves a possibility in Justin Blackman. Now, I wasn't real big on Justin Blackman at all because if you look at, you know, big-time receivers, they're 6'3", 6'4", running 4.4s, 4.3s. And Blackman comes in about 6'1", 207.
Hey, I remember a big-time receiver for the Cleveland Browns by the name of Brian Brennan, and I don't think he was even over 6 foot tall. Do you remember that guy?
He was a slot receiver, too. He wasn't a number 1 wide receiver.
No, but he was a damn good receiver.
He was the third wide receiver on the team.
He caught it.
He was the third wide receiver.
He caught the ball.
If Justin Blackman wants to come in here and be my third wide receiver, I'll take him.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
That's the thing, too, about Blackman. The biggest thing after watching a whole bunch of highlights on him, he gets yards after the catch. And in the West Coast offense, as a receiver, that is huge to be able to do those slants and getting through and getting yards after the catch. I believe he averaged about 18.1 yards per catch. Plus, if you look at the defensive backs in our conference, they're same size as Hayden. They're not too big. But the yards after the catches was really intriguing. With
to me, that's huge right there, man. You know, Yaks is a big deal in the NFL these days. And, you know, I think Greg Little has the ability to get some yards after the catch as long as he catches the frickin' football. We saw him have a little bit of difficulty. I don't expect that difficulty to exist this year again. I hope he's been working on it all all off season. He definitely needs to improve on that catching the football. But as far as catching it and getting some yards after the catch, I think having another guy with Greg Little's ability that can catch the football would be huge for the Cleveland Browns. What do you think, Kian?
I think it'd be huge. And then when you take the supposedly best receiver out of this draft class, and then you with your number 22 overall pick, you can get another receiver, Kendall Wright, that deep threat that you're supposed to have in the offense. The wide receiver class is deep this year. Another guy to look at is Ruben Randall out of LSU. Another guy who gets yards after the catch. You can put Blackman in the slot at 6'1", 207. Running those quick, short timing routes, being what's called a hot receiver. That's huge in the West Coast offense. And what I mean by hot receiver, if the defense, say Pittsburgh, is overloading one side and Blackman happens to be over there, and he's unaccounted for, that extra rusher is unaccounted for, you make up with that as the hot receiver, replacing where the defensive linebacker or whoever just came from, replacing that void.
Well, I'll tell you, I said it back, right after the season ended. I would love to see Justin Blackman come to the Cleveland Browns. A lot of people don't think he's worth the number 4, but I'll tell you, when you have an opportunity to get a guy like him that can do a little bit of stuff, catch the football, and I read some stories where Blackman was saying you can't catch him. Once he starts running, you can't catch the dude, Kenyon.
Blackman, hold up. You saying black man said they can't catch him? Of course you can't catch no black man. That's what we do. We run.
Oh, Blackman. Blackman.
Black man?
Blackman.
Black man. We do run.
To be honest, I don't think any one of those are worth the number 4 overall pick. It's a risk for either person. Trent Richardson, Justin Blackman. It's a risk with those two. So honestly, it's whatever the Browns do, they're going to have a plan. I don't see them selecting a quarterback neither. And yes, that's pretty much it. And the 3 positions, I think, with their 3 picks, or the 3 picks in the top 37 should be a receiver, running back, and someone possibly on the defensive side of the ball. I was thinking right tackle, but like I said, with reading about the West Coast offense, the West Coast offense makes up for you not really having that strong of an offensive line.
Kyan, are you still a Browns fan?
I am still a Browns fan. I took my year off, a couple years back, so I can't take another one off.
I'll tell you, Kyan, I really appreciate the phone call, man. You seem very knowledgeable, and we're going to see if your little bit of work pays off come April 26th. Hope you can join us. Streaming Sports Talk live broadcast from the NFL Draft. We'll release the destination for that this Friday at about 4:25 on the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Show. We're going to have to take a quick break from the Cleveland Sports 360 show, and we'll be right back with some more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Hopefully we'll get another caller. The number is 216-672-4300. Don't be afraid. Pick up the phone, give LG a ring, and we'll talk to you about some Cleveland Indians coming up right after this break, right here on StreamingSportsTalk.com.
I've lost my faith in the human race. face still sticks in my head. All the clothes you wore and the words you said, and every taste left in my mouth was bad. Because I've lost my faith in the human race. I wanna go to a different place. I've lost my faith in the human race. I wanna go to a different place. I wanna go to a different place. I was hanging out with the part-time punks down at the corner coffee shop. They sit and sip so silently, they don't protest anything.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. We've been tied up all night talking Browns draft. 26th of April is going to approach in about 30 days from today, well, 1 month from today. And don't forget, streamingsportstalk.com will be doing a live NFL draft broadcast at a destination to be announced on the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Show Friday at 4:25 p.m. right here at streamingsportstalk.com.
Yeah, I think the place that we're going to be announcing this Friday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern, I think people, if you're in this community, is going to love this place. It's a great place, and I can't wait to make this huge announcement this Friday at 4:25 for the NFL Draft.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Come on out and party with the cast from streamingsportstalk.com, the Cleveland Sports 360 show, the Unsportsmanlike Conduct show, and I think we'll even get the sports genius Alex Hale to join us down there for a while if everything goes according to the plans, folks.
And speaking of the sports genius, don't forget, April 3rd, we're going to be doing Light It Up for Autism. We're going to be doing a live broadcast. Where at? The Ben & Jerry's.
Ben & Jerry's.
And,
University Heights.
University Heights. The address is 2050 North Park. That's in Fairmount Circle, University Heights. That's April 3rd. Light It Up for Autism. Live remote for streamingsportstalk.com. We'll be there from 12 to 8. Several Cavs players, several Browns players. Several news celebrities will be in the house, and we're doing this for a great cause for autism. My nephew will be out in the building. Lamari Speaks. We're going to have a ball.
Hey, come on out, get some ice cream April 3rd from 12 to 8 p.m., University Heights, Ben & Jerry's. Google it if you don't know how to get there, but get there if you can, man. Tony Zarella from WOIO, WAB Sports Director.
Don Kendrick from WOIO. We have several.
What about Ramona? Can we get Ramona out there, Kenyon?
I want Ramona to come out there.
Huh?
I'm going to call Ramona.
Call Ramona, get her on the phone, tell her it'd be a joy to have her come out.
Austin Carr will be in the house.
Austin Carr, Mr. Cavalier, he just accepted a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Cleveland Sports Council last.
Yeah, I told him he made an ugly face when he cried when he got that award. His face it didn't look cute. That was an ugly cry.
Hey, we're taking your calls live, 216-672-4300. Right now, let's talk a little bit Indians baseball. We're not that far away from opening day, folks. It happens this year, April 5th, 3 o'clock, 3:05's game time, right here at Progressive Field against the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's hope the weather cooperates this year. We got the sun shining right now. If you live in Cleveland, you realize the last week was just absolutely phenomenal. 84 degrees 3 or 4 days in a row. And then the bottom falls out last night, and we get a little bit chilly, 39 degrees this morning. We're expecting a frost tonight. We got the winds coming out of the north a little bit here, and it's chilly. But when the Tribe comes back to town and you get down to that Progressive Field and suck in some brews, have a couple hot dogs, the Tribe lights it up. Let's hope they light it up. I'm a little bit concerned about the Tribe this year, Kenyon. The pitching staff for the Cleveland Indians is absolutely having their issues this spring out there in Goodyear, Arizona, man. I mean, the only ace that we can consider we have in the starting rotation right now is Masterson, man. Everybody else is having their issues. Gomez is looking pretty good, trying to get that 5th spot. But let's talk about Ubaldo Jimenez for a minute, man. His velocity on his pitches is starting to suffer. He's having a hard time trying to reach 90 miles an hour, man. I think we're going to see Ubaldo Jimenez eventually succumb to Tommy John's surgery, man.
Well, he threw 94 miles an hour the other day, so hopefully.
Yeah, well, how many pitches did he throw that?
That was the one pitch.
You know, he cannot consistently
The
get it up
second pitch
there.
was 62.
Yeah, I mean, he can't consistently get it up. I mean, this is going to come down to be the worst trade that the Cleveland Indians front office has ever made, giving up 2 young prospects. Let's face it, man. Let's face it. This is going to be the worst trade in the history of the organization, folks. We gave up Alex White and Drew Pomerantz.
Who the hell is Alex White?
Remember, Alex White was a good pitcher last year.
Where is he at now? What is
he's
he doing now?
He's playing for the Colorado Rockies, man. First of all, he's throwing a whole lot better than Jimenez has done for the Indians. A whole lot better. I mean, he's already, you know, he's having a little bit of struggle. He gave up 6 earned runs. He's got 11 strikeouts, 1 home run, Alex White. But Drew Pomerantz was the Tribe's future pitcher, man. And this guy is pitching phenomenal right now out there in Colorado, man. In 7 innings, he's given up 3 hits. He's got 7 strikeouts and 2 walks, man. We gave up Drew Pomerantz for Ubaldo Jimenez. And anybody that thinks that was a great deal needs to have their freaking heads examined, man. This is going to be the worst trade that the Indians ever made in their lives. Alex White came out of North Carolina. He pitched a couple of games for the Tribe last year. He was doing phenomenal until he hurt his finger on his throwing hand. He had a little bit of struggle coming back, but I do believe Antonati thought that this Ubaldo Jimenez was the answer. He was going to, you know, the Tribe was on fire before the All-Star break last year. He thought this was the answer, and he was going to get us a great pitcher. Anybody that compares the Indians' pitching to the Detroit pitching staff right now and says that the Indians' starting rotation, we're not talking bullpens, we're talking starting rotations, is just as good, needs to have their head examined, folks. Tomlin's had a terrible spring. Jimenez has had a terrible spring. Zach McAllister, he could do something, but we don't even know where his spot's really going to be locked down at. Derek Lowe, he's done okay, nothing phenomenal. He'll get us a lot of innings. We still don't know what's going on with Hernandez or Carmona or whatever the hell his name's going to be when he gets back here in the Cleveland Indians uniform. I understood a couple of weeks ago that the government down there in the Dominican let him off the fraud charges, but I haven't seen or heard of Carmona coming back into a Tribe uniform. So there's 210 innings every year.
I heard his name was Gucci Man.
Whatever his name is, that's 210 innings a year that we're not going to see Fausto Carmona or Hernandez or whoever the hell his name is, man. We just don't know what's going to go on with this Cleveland Indians. Hey, we got another caller. Caller, you're on the air live.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay, you say that this trade is the worst trade in Cleveland
This
history?
trade will go down as one of the worst deals in the Cleveland Indians history. Absolutely.
Well, the Sports Genius says that the John Smiley deal, 1997, was the worst trade in Cleveland Indians history.
Well, that's because
Smiley
you're...
doesn't even pitch a game. Smiley didn't even pitch a game, and you give up Sean Casey and Danny Gray.
You're young. You've still got your whole life ahead of you, man. You haven't seen a mistake
I'm just
of
saying,
this
that
magnitude
right there is
come
the
out and
worst
bite
trade.
you in the ass yet, man. That's what your problem is. You haven't seen a trade of this magnitude come out and bite you in the ass. You mark my words, Sports Genius. Wait till after the season. Let's take a look at Pomerantz's numbers compared to you.
Okay, is this worse than Harvey Kuhn for Rocky Colavito and all that?
Probably not, but it's going to be right up there. It's going to be on the same level of ignorance.
Well, I've been hearing differently about Ubaldo, and Alex Way looks like nothing but a bust, and the other 2 players are just throwing players.
Who remembers Rocky Colavito?
Really?
Who the hell remembers Rocky Calavito?
I remember Rocky Calavito.
I've never
but
seen Rocky Calavito play one pitch or one bat. I don't even know what the hell he played. I know the name. I don't know what the hell he played. I never watched that bullshit. It's old as hell. I've got cable now.
You know, the Indians did restructure Fausto Carmona's contract today. I just got a text telling me that. Thanks a lot for the text. I appreciate
Is it in pesos or dollars?
Well, they had a $7 million deal on the table for Carmona. But listen, caller, you still there, or do we lose you?
Yeah, I am.
You know, you can't tell me that you really honestly believe that we have a pitcher on the Cleveland Indians starting rotation that ranks up there with Justin Verlander for the Detroit Tigers. You can't tell me that.
Justin Masterson. If you listen to my show
He's not
earlier,
the same. He's
anyone
not
who's
the same
listening,
caliber. Hold on a minute. He is not the same
no,
caliber.
If they listen to my show earlier today, go to the ending on the, it really pisses me off. I explain to you why the Indians rotation is far better than the Tigers rotation.
You wished the Indians rotation was far better.
No,
than the
it
Tigers.
is. Trust
You
me.
wished it, man. Go home. Put some, good luck charms under your pillow tonight when you hit the bed, sports genius.
And stop watching that old ass baseball, man.
Yeah,
if it was in black and white, it ain't right. That's the motto.
It was color back then.
If it ain't in black and white, I'm Jesse Jackson. If it's in black and white, it ain't right.
Listen, sports genius, I got to tell you this. Masterson is not the same caliber pitcher as Justin Verlander, man. Masterson doesn't have the control as Verlander. Verlander is a total power pitcher that can take you out of the game just as fast as you go up and swing the bat 3 times. Masterson is masterful because he can command his pitches to make you hit a ground ball. Keep you on the infield.
Does it matter? Does it matter either way? The way I see it, you're getting the guy out. This is
Well,
all
the way I
volleyball.
see it, when
Masterson
Masterson is a little bit off on his game, you're going to see that ball go sailing over the center field fence, where Verlander will power the ball. Hey, trust me when I tell you this, sports genius. Nobody wishes that we had a Justin Verlander in the Cleveland rotation more than LG. Nobody.
I want to make sure the sports genius got this right. What is the motto?
What motto?
The motto I just told you. If it's in black and white, it ain't right.
You got that?
Very funny, guys.
You got it?
And if it smells like fish, don't eat it.
Don't
you
eat it.
got that, Alex?
I get you.
Hey, thanks for calling. We appreciate it. Go home tonight, hit your head on the pillow, say a few prayers, get on your hands and knees.
And don't beat it too bad, man.
Yeah, don't beat it
Don't
too
beat
bad.
too rough.
And listen,
Okay, we'll do.
hit your hands and knees tonight and pray to God, sports genius, that the Cleveland Indians pitching staff can be 35% as good as the Detroit Tigers pitching staff this year, folks. Because I tell you what, we got a whole bunch of games coming up with the Tigers where the Cleveland Indians pitching staff is probably better is coming out of the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen mafia is pretty much coming back intact this year. We got some great guys out there. Vinny Pastano, Perez is down working, rehabbing his little muscle pull to his rib cage there, and we got a great staff out in the bullpen.
Well, you're going to be there covering the Cleveland Indians for opening day.
Opening day, we'll be down there with TV 20. Me and Kenyon, we're gonna cover opening day, and I Toronto's coming to town, man. I don't see that as being our offense on the Cleveland Indians. We still don't even know who's going to be the full-time center fielder for the Tribe, man.
I'm going there for drinks. I'll be up.
You'll be up there having a few beers, but
I can care less what's on the field.
I know
Family Dollar's on the field.
I'll tell you one thing right now, man. We're going to have a problem with the rotation starting pitching-wise here in Cleveland this year if the Tribe wants to be as competitive as they were last year, man. Tomlin's having a tough season so far. You know what? Maybe we're all washed up, man, and it's only spring training, and all this is going to go by the wayside when the bell rings at 3:05 on April 5th.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, man. I think we need some help. I hope the bullpen doesn't get overextended too early this year.
Detroit and Minnesota look a hell of a lot better.
Oh, Detroit looks like a powerhouse in pitching. I mean, the guy spent a shitload of money, Kenyon.
Right.
A boatload of money.
We have
man.
no
I mean,
money to spend.
No, the guy's got I don't know where he's
another owner making a boatload of money every year and not. I mean, he's happy with what he's making every year.
Absolutely. I mean,
They're
Dolan.
not as bad as the Learners. Although Dolans take a big hit, they're not as bad as the Learners because the Learners are making quadruple what they're bringing in, and the Dolans are just trying to say we cannot keep paying so much and not making it in return. So they're not as bad as the Learners.
They cut $110 million off the tribe's payroll in one season, and that's you get what you pay for, man. I mean, how are we going to compete with that? I just don't understand it. Well, we're going to wrap it up here from the StreamingSportsTalk.com studios. I'm glad you joined us for another edition of the Cleveland Sports 360 show each and every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Hey, don't forget, frequent our websites, man. We got a lot of good articles. We look for input. Go to StreamingSportsTalk.com. Click on the articles. If you have an opinion, put it down underneath the article. There's a comment box. You don't even have to put your name. Just submit your articles, your comments, and let us see what you think. ClevelandSports360.com and the brand new USASports360.com. Trying to get the full coverage of the United States because that's what the StreamingSportsTalk.com is doing. We're going national now. And last week we were even international with some people over in Kuwait watching the fabulous show we did with the Dorsets and and all the other people.
I came up on a nice a woman from China. I'm going to date her, internet date her.
You just want somebody to iron your shirts, Kenyon. That's what you're trying to tell us.
I'm going to give her my modem.
Now, really?
I'm going to give her my big black modem.
Big black modem. There you go. The big black modem from the short little black guy. God put it all in his pants, folks. He certainly didn't put it in his legs. We'll see you next week. Cleveland Sports 360. God bless you. Take care. And go Tribe. Let's bring home a win next week.